Imagine for a second that you want to start a business. You have this like incredible recipe. So you set up a food cart.
Okay, I'm with you.
Right. But to get enough customers, you decide to put that cart inside a massively crowded sports stadium right during the championship game. The foot traffic is just unbelievable. Tens of thousands of hungry people walking right past you.
Yeah, you are definitely going to get orders.
Exactly. But then you look at the lease agreement. The stadium owners are taking 30% of every single dollar you make.
Wow.
And on top of that, they won't let you speak directly to the people buying your food.
Yeah.
You know, you can't ask for their names, you can't hand them a loyalty card, you can't even put your own logo on the bag.
That sounds terrible.
It is. And today is August 17th, 2026. And that exact scenario is playing out right now for your favorite local restaurant every single time you order delivery on your phone.
Yeah, it is a truly ruthless environment. I mean, when you tap your screen and 30 minutes later food appears at your door, the frictionless user experience kind of tricks you into thinking it's simple. But underneath that interface is one of the most intense, high-stakes battlegrounds in modern business.
And that is our mission for today. Welcome to the deep dive. We are unpacking a comprehensive guide on the best online ordering systems for restaurants. We are going to decode the invisible software ecosystem that is actively powering and honestly, in some cases, completely threatening the modern food delivery world.
Totally.
So whether you manage a restaurant or you're a tech enthusiast or you're just someone who, ordered a pizza last night, understanding the mechanics and the economics behind your digital order is completely fascinating.
Oh, absolutely. And to truly grasp the stakes here, we really have to look at the sheer scale of the market. I mean, we are looking at a projection from Straits Research, and they estimate that the global online food delivery industry is going to hit a staggering $388.56 billion by 2033.
Almost 400 billion.
Exactly. Nearly $400 billion. So this is no longer just a side hustle for the hospitality industry.
No, not at all.
For many businesses, digital ordering has entirely eclipsed their physical dining room to become the primary engine of their revenue.
Okay, let's unpack this. Because to understand why restaurant tech is evolving so incredibly fast right now, we first got to understand the massive financial friction caused by the industry's biggest players.
Right.
We are talking about the gatekeepers, the digital stadium owners in our analogy.
Yeah, the aggregators. These are the platforms you almost certainly have downloaded on your phone right now.
Definitely.
When we talk about the titans of this industry, we're really looking at the top 3 delivery apps. You have DoorDash, which currently holds the largest global market share, followed closely by Uber Eats and Grubhub.
Right.
Now, to be fair to them, these platforms essentially built the modern delivery landscape.
Right.
They solved a massive logistical nightmare by creating independent delivery fleets and putting an encyclopedic directory of restaurants right in your pocket.
Right, but they didn't do it for charity. I mean, that convenience comes at a very steep price for the people actually chopping the onions and grilling the burgers.
A remarkably steep price, yeah. Our sources actually outline the specific pricing tiers for Uber Eats, and it is incredibly revealing as to how this economy actually functions behind the scenes.
No, it really is.
They offer what they call a light plan, which takes a 15% commission fee for delivery orders. Then there is the plus plan, which jumps to 25%.
Wow.
And finally, the premium plan demands a massive 30% commission.
I have to push back on that a bit because 30% is absurd.
It is.
Restaurant profit margins are notoriously razor thin. I mean, operating on a 5 to 10% profit margin is considered a massive success in the hospitality business. So giving up 30% of your top line revenue is just brutal.
Yeah, it really hurts.
So why would any restaurant owner in their right mind voluntarily sign up for the premium plan?
Well, it's all about visibility. The 30% premium plan offers perks like ad spend matching up to $100 a month. But more importantly, it boosts you in the algorithm.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, if it's a Friday night and a user searches for sushi, the algorithm is going to prioritize the restaurant paying the 30% premium tier over the one paying 15%.
That makes sense.
So restaurants are essentially forced into a bidding war against each other just to be seen on the app. You pay the 30% because if you don't, you're buried on page 4.
And nobody scrolls to page 4 when they're hungry.
Exactly.
Nobody. So they are essentially holding the restaurant's visibility hostage. But the commission fee isn't even the worst part of this deal, is it?
No, it's not. What's fascinating here is that the money hurts, yes, but the deeper existential threat to the business is actually the data.
Right.
When a restaurant uses these aggregators, They completely lose ownership of their customer data and the presentation of their brand.
Explain the mechanism of that. Like, what does losing the data actually mean for a local Italian place on a Tuesday night?
Think about it from the platform's perspective. If you order a plate of pasta through DoorDash, the restaurant never learns who you are.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
They don't receive your email address. They don't have your phone number. They literally don't know that you consistently order every single Tuesday at 6 p.m.
Wow.
The aggregator owns that relationship. The platform controls the interface, the marketing, and the customer acquisition.
So the restaurant is basically reduced to a fulfillment center. They are just a nameless kitchen cooking food for Uber's customers, not their own.
Precisely. And if you don't own the data of your regulars, you can't build loyalty. If DoorDash decides to change its algorithm tomorrow, or if a competing Italian place across the street decides to pay for higher ad placement, your Tuesday night regular might never see your restaurant on their screen again.
That is terrifying for small business.
It is. You have no way to email them and say, hey, here's a coupon for your favorite pasta. That dynamic explains exactly why the industry right now is absolutely desperate for commission-free, direct-to-consumer alternatives.
Which leads to the most obvious question. If paying 30% to Uber Eats is financially draining and you're losing all your customer data, why don't these restaurants just build their own apps?
Right.
I mean, it's 2026. I can use an AI tool to generate a beautiful website for a fake company in about 10 minutes. So why is building a food ordering app still considered such a massive hurdle?
Because an online ordering system is not a website. A website is a brochure. It just sits there and looks pretty. An ordering system is a highly complex logistical engine.
Okay.
You aren't just displaying information. You are processing secure financial transactions, updating real-time inventory, and coordinating physical delivery logistics simultaneously.
That is a lot of moving parts.
It really is. Building a custom application from scratch is a monumental undertaking. Our research actually outlines the 7 technical steps required to build one from the ground up, and it is a massive structural dilemma.
Well, let's walk through those steps because I think people really underestimate what building an app actually entails in the real world.
Yeah, definitely. So step 1 is defining requirements. Got to map out distinct user roles.
Like who?
Well, the customer needs a menu interface. The wait staff needs an order management interface. The kitchen needs a ticket routing interface. And the delivery driver needs a GPS and status interface.
Oh, wow. I didn't even think about the driver.
Right. They all need different but interconnected functionalities. Step 2 is designing the system, which means user interface wireframes and architecting a complex database schema so all these different users can talk to each other securely without the data getting mixed up.
So if we use a physical restaurant metaphor here to make sense of the tech, step 1 and 2 are basically drawing the blueprints for the building. You're deciding where the dining room goes, where the kitchen goes, and how the waiters will walk between them.
That's a perfect way to look at it, because step 3 is choosing the technology stack. You need a front-end framework like React or Vue to make the app look nice and responsive for the customer.
Got it.
Then you need a robust back-end framework, maybe Node.js or Python, just to handle the server-side logic. Calculating the taxes, applying discount codes, checking if an item is sold out.
Right, the unseen math.
Exactly. You need a database to store all this, and you have to host it all on a reliable cloud server infrastructure like AWS.
Keeping with the metaphor, the front end is the interior design of the dining room. The back end is the expediter in the kitchen screaming out orders and organizing the chaos.
Yes, exactly.
And the database is the pantry where all your ingredients are stored. But you have to build all of this digitally, so you need a team of highly specialized and very expensive engineers.
You absolutely do, because step 4 is the actual development, writing the thousands of lines of code to fetch menu items, place orders, and securely process payments.
Sounds expensive.
Very. Step 5 is rigorous testing to make sure a customer ordering a vegan burger doesn't somehow crash the payment gateway. Step 6 is deployment, configuring your servers to handle massive, unpredictable Friday night traffic spikes.
And the final step.
Finally, step 7 is the endless, expensive cycle of monitoring and software maintenance.
Here's where it gets really interesting. Because even if a local restaurant somehow scrounges up the capital to hire a dev team to do all of that, the stakes of getting it wrong are terrifying.
Oh, absolutely.
There is a statistic in our sources that completely recontextualized this for me. 91% of unhappy customers will leave and never return if an interface is complex or frustrating.
91%. That's a massive cliff to fall off.
Think about the psychology of that compared to a physical restaurant. If you walk into a local diner and the waiter is a little slow or they accidentally bring you a Coke instead of a Diet Coke, you don't instantly vow to never eat there again.
Right, you just ask them to fix it.
Exactly. The waiter apologizes, maybe they comp you a free dessert, they smile, and the relationship is recovered. Human friction is forgivable, but digital friction is utterly ruthless.
It is entirely unforgiving. Because on a smartphone, your competitor is exactly one thumb swipe away. If a restaurant builds their own custom app, and a customer is trying to add extra cheese, but the screen freezes for just 2 seconds, or the Apple Pay integration glitches,
They're gone.
boom, that customer closes the app, opens DoorDash, and orders from somewhere else. You just lost a customer forever, and you have absolutely no idea why.
Which perfectly illustrates why local restaurants are caught between a rock and a hard place. The aggregators bleed their profits dry and steal their data, but custom development is a massive financial gamble where one bug can destroy your reputation. They need something in the middle.
Exactly. They need an off-the-shelf solution that gives them the control and branding of a custom app, but without the crippling development risks and upfront costs.
Enter the zero-commission revolution. Nature abhors a vacuum, and the tech market has exploded with white label and SaaS platforms to fill this exact void. SaaS meaning software as a service, of course. By the way, for anyone unfamiliar, a white label product is essentially like a factory producing a perfectly formulated can of soda, but leaving the can completely blank so you can slap your own logo on it and sell it as your own.
That's a great analogy.
Thanks. So these platforms offer an integrated model. They seamlessly connect the menus, the payments, and the logistics, but the customer only ever sees the restaurant's branding.
And our sources highlight the top platforms of 2026. Instead of just listing them, we should probably look at them as different strategic plays a restaurant can make.
Let's do it.
So let's start with the ownership play, which is a platform called Enatega. This is a very unique approach. Instead of renting software month by month, Enatega charges a one-time license fee, starting at $1,997.
Okay.
And for that, the restaurant actually gets full ownership of the source code.
Getting the source code is a huge deal. It means you aren't just renting an apartment, you hold the deed to the house. If Enatega goes out of business tomorrow, your app doesn't break. You own the underlying architecture.
Right, and they charge 0% commission on the orders. Our sources highlight a fantastic real-world application of this with a cloud kitchen over in Dubai.
Cloud kitchens are fascinating. They don't even have physical dining rooms, right?
Exactly. They rely 100% on delivery. So this specific kitchen was getting slammed, handling 1,200 orders every single week.
That is a lot of volume.
It is. They deployed Enatega, and not only did the platform easily handle the volume without crashing, but the seamless interface actually reduced their order errors by 18%.
Oh.
Furthermore, it allowed the kitchen to track their deliveries in real time, matching the logistical power of a DoorDash, but keeping 100% of their revenue.
That is transformative for a business operating at that speed. But I imagine not every restaurant owner wants the responsibility of managing their own source code. Sometimes you just want to pay a subscription and let someone else worry about the server updates.
Oh, sure, which is where the SaaS alternatives come in. If Enatega is the ownership play, a platform like UpMenu is the marketing engine play. Well, they charge a monthly fee, anywhere from $49 to $99 a month, and their entire strategy focuses heavily on built-in marketing tools. We are talking automated SMS campaigns, push notifications, and targeted email marketing.
That makes total sense. Because if you pull your restaurant off Uber Eats, you lose that massive digital stadium of foot traffic.
Right, you have to find them yourself.
You have to drive your own traffic. You need those megaphone tools to remind your customers to order directly from your website instead of opening the aggregator app.
Exactly. Then, on a slightly larger scale, you have the scale play with a company called Flipdish. They sit in the 149 to 249 euro per month range, and they are heavily targeted at growing chains and franchises.
Okay, so for places that are expanding.
Right. Flipdish is about bridging the digital and physical worlds. They offer branded mobile apps, which is a huge status symbol for a growing chain, but they also provide software for physical self-service kiosks inside the restaurant, starting at $79 a month.
So you have the exact same software ecosystem powering the app in the customer's pocket and the touchscreen kiosk in the physical lobby.
Precisely.
And we should also mention the entry-level play. The sources highlighted FoodChow, which is really dominating the Australian market right now.
Oh yeah, FoodChow is huge there.
They offer an incredible range, starting from a completely free tier, which is phenomenal for a tiny mom-and-pop bakery that maybe only takes a few digital orders a week, all the way up to a platinum plan that's $300 a year for advanced features and custom domains.
So if we synthesize what Enatega, UpMenu, Flipdish, and FoodChow are doing, despite their different pricing models, they all share a core value proposition.
Which is?
They all charge 0% commission on the individual orders, and crucially, they all allow the restaurant to hoard and analyze their own customer data.
They are giving the power back to the kitchen, but that brings up a really practical physical problem.
What's that?
Well, having a beautiful, zero commission, flawlessly coded app on your customer's phone means absolutely nothing if the kitchen doesn't know what to cook.
That is very true.
How do these sophisticated online systems actually talk to the chaotic environment of a physical restaurant? Like, how does a digital tap on a piece of glass turn into a printed paper ticket on the cook line?
That is where the POS ecosystem comes into play. POS stands for point of sale. Historically, this was just the cash register.
Right, the drawer with the money.
Exactly. But today, it is the absolute vital bridge between the digital world and the physical kitchen. An online ordering app has to integrate perfectly with the restaurant's POS. Otherwise, you have total operational chaos.
I can imagine.
Currently, most independent restaurants rely on cloud-based POS systems to manage this bridge.
So who are the major players providing these systems?
Well, Toast is a massive leader right now, particularly for full-service, mid-sized restaurants. They have captured a huge market share.
I see Toast everywhere.
Yeah, they're everywhere. Then you have Square, which absolutely dominates the small and quick service venues, the independent coffee shops, the bakeries. And you also have major international players like Lightspeed and Touch Bistro.
Let's explain the mechanism of how this integration actually works, because we hear the term API thrown around a lot in this space.
Yes, application programming interface.
Right. Think of an API as a digital translator. The online ordering app you use on your phone speaks one programming language. The POS system sitting on the counter in the restaurant speaks a completely different programming language.
Okay.
When you hit order, the API is the messenger that grabs your digital order, runs through the internet into the restaurant, translates your order into a language the POS understands, and hands it over.
That is exactly how it functions. It's essentially the central nervous system of the entire operation.
I love that analogy.
The digital tap on your smartphone is the electrical impulse. The API carries that impulse to the brain, which is the POS system. The brain processes the payment data, updates a digital inventory to reflect that one less burger is available, and then fires a physical reflex.
Sending a command to the ticket printer in the kitchen so the chef knows what to cook.
Yes. All of this happens in a fraction of a second.
Which raises an important question for me. If independent restaurants are relying on off-the-shelf companies like Toast and Square to act as their central nervous system, how do the massive global chains handle this?
That is a great question.
I mean, the fast food empires that process millions of orders a day, they can't just be using the same Square terminal as my local coffee shop.
They absolutely are not. And this is where the technological divide becomes incredibly apparent. The global giants don't adapt their operations to fit the software. They build software to perfectly mirror their operations.
This was actually one of my favorite details from the deep dive. It's a brilliant piece of trivia. Yeah. McDonald's, the absolute behemoth of the industry, they do not use an off-the-shelf POS software. They rely on a highly proprietary system called the new POS NP6. In the tech world, you'll sometimes see it referred to as Torex or Savista or MediaWorks New POS.
Right. It is entirely custom built for their specific operational flow.
And the reason why they do this is fascinating. When you are operating at the scale of McDonald's, every single microsecond matters.
Sure.
A generic POS system, like Toast, has to be flexible. It has to be able to load 100 different menu categories dynamically because it doesn't know if it's being used in a pizzeria or a vegan salad bar.
Right. It has to be a jack of all trades.
Exactly. But the McDonald's NP6 system knows exactly what it is. The user interface is hard-coded to the exact physical layout of their kitchen stations.
Ah, so it reduces the cognitive load on the cashier to zero.
Right. If someone orders a custom Big Mac, that data doesn't just go to a central kitchen screen. The proprietary software instantly dissects the order and routes the meat requirement directly to a screen at the grill station, and the bun requirement directly to the prep station, bypassing any cloud latency.
That is incredibly efficient.
They shave off milliseconds of processing time, which translates to millions of dollars in efficiency across thousands of stores. It perfectly highlights the massive technological divide. Your favorite local eatery is fighting tooth and nail, using rented tools to compete in the exact same digital arena as behemoths with bottomless, customized tech budgets.
And that divide is precisely what makes the rise of these SaaS and white label platforms so critical. By democratizing access to high-end digital infrastructure, companies like Enatega, UpMenu, and Flipdish are finally giving independent restaurants a fighting chance.
Yeah, leveling the playing field.
They're arming them with the tools they need to defend their profit margins against the predatory aggregators while simultaneously streamlining their operations to rival the big chains.
So what does this all mean? When you strip away the APIs, the POS terminals, and the commission tiers, it means that the restaurant industry in 2026 is fighting a vicious digital turf war.
Absolutely.
Success is no longer just about having the best food in town. You could have the greatest grandmother's recipe in the world, but if you can't master the underlying technology of online ordering, your business will slowly bleed out through 30% commission fees.
It is sad, but true.
Survival requires fiercely protecting those profit margins and legally owning the digital relationship with your customer.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, the apps you choose to tap on your phone don't just deliver your dinner. They directly dictate the financial survival of the people cooking it.
Right.
An integrated system, one where the app, the payment gateway, the delivery logistics, and the kitchen printer all talk to each other seamlessly.
Yeah.
It isn't just back-end plumbing. It is the absolute lifeline of the business.
So true.
When you take the extra time to use a restaurant's direct white-labeled app, you are feeding the restaurant. When you order through a third-party aggregator at a convenience, you are feeding the platform.
It completely changes how you look at that folder of food apps on your home screen.
It really does.
But I want to leave you with a final thought to mull over, something that builds on where all this data ownership is ultimately heading. As independent restaurants successfully pull away from the big aggregators, they're going to start hoarding their own customer data.
Oh, for sure.
They're going to spin up their own advanced marketing algorithms. So what happens to your dining habits when your favorite local spot's algorithm gets so incredibly good, so finely tuned to your historical behavior that it actually predicts exactly when you'll crave their signature dish?
That is a wild thought.
What happens to your willpower when a restaurant's proprietary app sends a personalized, hyper-targeted offer for your favorite meal directly to your lock screen before you even realize you're hungry?